Hi, this is Rick Hill with the Cooking with the Doctor show. We're glad you're here, and we are in Tijuana, Mexico at the Oasis of Hope Hospital, where I got my life back 39 years ago. And the reason I'm excited is that at this cooking show, by the way, this beautiful lady here is Rosa Contreras. How do you say your last name?
Contreras.
I can't do
Contreras.
that. It's Contreras. Come on.
Exactly.
And she is
I'm the nutritionist here at the Oasis of Hope.
She is a nutritionist at the Oasis of Hope and married to Mr. GQ. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Of course.
Yeah. Gaston is her handsome husband. He's our token GQ guy around here. So we're glad that you're here. And today what we'd like to do is talk about some wholesome foods that you are going to want to be cooking on a regular basis. I recall clearly when I left Oasis of Hope, they drove me to San Diego Airport. I got on the plane and there was a person there that I knew from Minneapolis. And I said, you guys, how many have read my book? A few people in here read my book? Yeah, you that are frowning? Okay. And I sat next to him on the plane and they served lunch back then. Back years ago, they actually had food. It wasn't good, but they had food. And they put my lunch in front of me, and they put his lunch in front of him, and I went, stop! We can't eat this. First of all, and I went through the whole lunch thing telling him why the food we were about to eat was toxic and that I wasn't going to eat it. And the guys like looked at me like one of those old Federal Express commercials, you know where they go. And he looked at me and he said, Rick, it's a chicken sandwich. Relax. Now, believe me, when you get home, you're going to hit the wall because you're going to walk in your house and nothing in the refrigerator you can eat, nothing in the cupboard can be eaten. It's got preservatives. A lot of it's going to be in cans. It's got sugar in it. And you are going to go, what have I done? And you're going to look for that counter. You're going to want to know where the buffet went. And then it dawns on you big time, there is no buffet where you're going. It's you. And what'll keep you in the loop for years, remember I've been at this 39 years, is how creative you get at the cooking process, at the food prep process, because a lot of what we eat is not cooked. But when we do cook, we cook at a low heat. Now this is, so you're going to be sauteing, so we'll go 5. Yeah. This is waterless cookware, which means it's stainless steel. It's got all of the stuff in it, so aluminum won't leach through it. It's very hard. And this is a magnetic cooktop, meaning that it doesn't really, I'm putting my hand right next to the surface here, and it's not going to burn me because it really doesn't heat the griddle that heats the pan. It creates an excitement. Are you excited yet? It creates an excitement in the molecules in the bottom of this pan, which is magnetic, and it heats it. So it doesn't heat your house up in the summer to cook with this kind of cookware. These are almost twice as fast to cook. But my point is, when you're cooking with low heat, twice as fast is meaningless. You know, it really is. So the way I tell if something's ready is I touch the top to see if it's actually heated enough. But this is called waterless cookware. And what we're suggesting is this. Learn to cook below 186 degrees. Because how many degrees is a microwave?
Oh my God, it's like 4 something.
Over
and that
400 degrees.
Degrees, yes. And it just burns all the nutrients. It kills everything that you're eating. So you might as well be eating something dead already. Okay, something that's not good for you, something that's not healthy, something that has been burned already. So all the nutrients, all the fiber, all the antioxidants are gone. So even if you put, you know, a great plate of vegetables in there, you just burn them. Yeah.
Your dad told me that at 400 degrees, even protein is destroyed.
Exactly.
So that little piece of roast beef you put in there to heat in a hurry, yes. Even though you paid top dollar for it, it's organic, no steroids, no hormones. They hugged the cow every night before it went to bed. And then you stuck it in the microwave and killed it. Gone. Yeah. Nutrients, goodbye.
Exactly.
Yes?
Yes. Everything's gone. So, yeah.
So what we have today is we have organic peppers. Tell us a little bit about peppers.
Okay, well, bell peppers not only are amazingly good and sweet, but they're super good for us because they're full of antioxidants. They're super high in vitamin C. They're higher than even an orange, which is very hard to believe for some people. So it's a great, they're also very sweet. So we usually like them, okay? So then that's good. If you like them, then get them in a full pack and just eat them raw or cooked or whichever way you like. They're also great for our circulatory system. So they're just going to be a food that you want to keep in your fridge, okay? They're great for juicing. They're great for cooking, great raw. So it's very versatile, too, to keep on hand, okay?
Good.
Yeah.
Now, Rosa's not only better looking than I am. In addition to that, you can rent her. And what do you call it? Nutritional counseling.
Yes, nutritional counseling.
They do that, right?
Yeah.
And how do they do that? How do they get a hold of you in order?
Well, you just speak to somebody upstairs, whichever one's there, and you just let them know that you want an appointment with me. And then we can do a one-on-one consult. And that way we can talk about different foods that you want to incorporate or menus that you want to, do at home. Or
so if I told you what food I really like, you could steer me in an organic, healthy direction. Like I like cornbread.
Exactly.
All right, you could teach me gluten-free, you would, okay.
I can teach you, and then we can go over some things. Like he said, if you tell me what you like, then it's easier for me to get to know you, which we don't do that in class. So then that's good. If you tell me, I really don't like this, or I'm having a hard time with this, then we can go through that and we can help you. Okay. And that way you can just do it for the whole family, because this is a life-changing experience. This is something that you don't only want to do just for the patient or the companion. You want to do it for the whole family to be able to feed them the right foods.
That's right. And those of you here that are companions, by the way, this is live studio. There are patients all over the room here, and it's hard to tell by looking.
I know.
I mean, our patients really look good.
They look good.
Yeah, because we're giving them good stuff. But I asked the last group that was in here that went home last week, and I said, how many of you rented Rosa? That kind of has a nice sound to it. And a bunch of them raised their hand. I said, well, all I want to know was it worth the price? Did it work for you? Everyone said yes. So I'm telling you, the biggest single barrier you will meet when you go home is food. Because Louie, your best friend, is going to be saying, tonight, pizza and beer, don't tell me no. And Louie doesn't get his way in this. Louie's not fighting for his life. So you say, Louie, I love you like a brother. Leave me alone. I'm not going for pizza and beer tonight. It's not going to happen. See? All right, that's warm. So she is going to, now what we've got here is an empty pan. Hello? You don't see grease dripping out of that, do you? And the good news is that you can saute vegetables in this dry pan. And the reason for that is because the natural oils from the vegetables will come to the surface, caramelize, then it'll sweat down. Because if you dump tons of olive oil, what you're doing is sauteing the olive oil. And that's not so bad. It's got good flavor. But it's not as good as the real nutrients of the food originally. Exactly. So take a run at it.
So we're going to do the stuffing, which we're going to stuff the bell peppers. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to teach you how to do it, or show you how to do it, okay? So we're going to add a little bit of onion.
We've got this pan on 4. Yeah. Now, if you're thinking about how hot that is, think of your electric stove on 4. It's below medium. And
so it's just very low. And we want to keep all of them crunchy, too. The crunchier the vegetables are, that means the rawer they are. So then that's also a good sign that you're eating all the nutrients. You're not, because you can still kill them in the stove, okay? Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of celery. Celery just gives it a great taste, and it's also full of fiber, so it's good to have it there. So we're just going to add a little bit of water and get a facial.
Now, when
too.
you take the top off, do you like to cook them with the lid on or not the lid on?
I like them without the lid,
Okay.
but you could do the lid if you want.
No,
That's
I don't have a preference.
so there. We added the celery, and we're just gonna let them cook down a little bit. And it's always good to add those vegetables that don't have that harsh taste, because then that way you're eating a lot of them. So maybe celery is one of those that's kind of mild, or you could just add whichever vegetables that you like really to this. Okay.
Let me give you some other ideas for peppers. There are two things that I do with peppers every week. One of the things that I do is we buy the little bag, you can get the organic little peppers, and I chop them up and put them in my salad. If you look at the Cooking with the Doctor show, I build a big salad, and it is gorgeous. It is delicious. But what we do is now we chop up the multicolors of the different peppers. We put that in there. And then your once a week treat, you could be making like a chicken salad. So you get a little bit of organic chicken, 4 to 6 ounces, chop it all up, put it in a pan. And you have to cook it first, and then you chop it up. And then I chop up a lot of peppers, little teeny fine chop. Put that in there. Little bit of onion. Lots of celery, some gluten-free mayo, and that's the best brand unless you can get a good organic brand. I mean, BEST, that's the brand name. And my grandkids love the peppers when I put them in the food.
And we're gonna use quinoa. Okay, quinoa is full of protein, and it's it's gluten-free, so it's a great way to substitute the white rice, okay, that we're used to. But you can also use brown rice if you don't like quinoa. But quinoa is one of those things that it's good cold, hot, and we really use it here because it's great as a side dish or as a dish.
Now, what kind of seasoning are you going to put in here?
And for this, I'm just gonna really add a little bit of pepper, and then I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of the Bragg's aminos, which is like soy sauce without the gluten.
Tell us again what that is. I didn't hear it.
The aminos.
You buy that in a health food store?
You buy that in the health food store. It's
How do you
by
spell
Bragg's.
it? A-M-I-N-O-E-S?
Yeah, A-M-I-N-O-E-S, aminos. We're all added to it. So just a little bit of pepper. Okay, just a tiny bit really. And then that way you don't even have to add salt to it because it's very, very salty.
How does that differ from soy sauce?
Well, it's gluten-free, so that's the main thing.
How many of you knew the number one ingredient in soy sauce
It's gluten
is wheat?
and wheat.
Is there soy in soy sauce? Who knows?
Who knows?
The answer is no.
Yes,
Who named this?
yes.
I mean, who's the genius that came up? Let's call it soy sauce. Why don't they call it apricot sauce?
Exactly.
I mean, it's made out of wheat. And I didn't know that when I was using some one time, and next day I got the headache and can't digest anything. So I went to the kitchen, got the bottle, and read it. First ingredient, wheat.
Wheat. Yes, so it's very important that you always read the label of things. And that's what I tell patients. You have to be responsible and read the label because we're not always going to be there. We're not always going to cook for you. So you have to learn and do that always. Always the first thing that you do when you go to the market, anything you're going to buy, you read the label because sometimes we don't even know what's in what we've been eating all our lives. So it's important to do that. Okay. And then here I added some zucchinis, okay? Zucchinis are also packed with water, which is good because I've always read that people don't like to drink a lot of water. But it's also very important to eat our water, okay? So not only just be drinking water, but eating our water. And vegetables are packed with water and fiber and antioxidants. So we have to do that. And this smells delicious already.
It really does. Now, are you going to salt that or no?
No salt. We're not even going to add salt.
You even brought your famous
And I bought
Hawaiian...
my pink salt, which is amazing. It's salty. It's the purest kind of salt that you can buy. It's the pink Himalayan salt, and this is the one that I recommend the most. But since we added the Bragg's amino acid, we don't even need it because it's fairly salted, okay? At the end, we'll taste it and see, but I'm pretty sure we're not really going to need it.
Maybe you can mention about the coconut oil that I have in that little jar. Why would our viewers be interested in using coconut even over maybe olive oil?
Yeah, well, coconut oil is great for high heat. So sometimes we think, oh, we're not really using high heat, but we are. This is really, really good for high heat. So anything that you want to cook over medium heat, coconut oil will do the trick. Okay?
And this is Nature's Way, good for cooking, organic. You see the Organico sign on there, so it's organic. And believe me, if you're shopping in stores, almost every major store chain today has an organic section. Exactly. And the prices are coming down. I can get the baby spinach and the things in the tray, and it's like 40 cents difference now between the organic version, where it used to be twice as much money.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, give me a break. Who are they kidding? We're paying more money for something they're not putting in it. You got all the chemicals. So, yeah, it's a little more labor intensive probably.
But it's good because that shows us that people are starting to eat healthier, which is great. Because now everybody wants to be healthier and wants to eat organic, and now nobody wants, their food packed with chemicals. So that's a great thing, I think.
Yeah. Was it Hippocrates that said, "Let food be your doctor"? Was that the quote? And I took that literally. In a couple of weeks, we're going to do a couple of juicing shows. And I was always big on juicing watermelon and green drinks and different things. But I flipped on my Champion juicer last week, and I heard that noise. I turned to my daughter, and I said, whenever I hear that noise, somehow I know everything's going to be okay. Exactly. She gets all teary, But that's right, because you're like Pavlov's dog. You hear that juicer and your whole body goes, I'm going to live. I'm going to be okay. Conversely true, every time you sneak a bite of something that you hadn't, I wasn't looking at you, love, that you hadn't ought to be eating, what does your body tell you?
Exactly.
I guess I'm not worth saving. Might as well kill me now. But when you do the right thing consistently, then your whole body goes, there it is. I hear that juicer. There's that colonic bag. We're going to live. We're going to make it. We are going to live till a ripe old age. I'm telling you, what's up here is a lot of what you're dealing with. And the more triggers that you can give yourself to stay alive and stay healthy and stay with it, the better you're going to be. And cooking is a big part of that. Okay, Rick, shut up. So what you're going to do is start loading those.
Now we're going to add this to the quinoa.
Then we're going to put the peppers in here. And while those are cooking, they won't take long, Rosa's going to show us a little bit more about water.
Yes.
And sometimes if our timing's a little off, we just talk with you and then edit it out.
Exactly.
So we don't feel pressure. Can you tell up here?
Yeah, we're just having fun.
Even today, when I see people cooking crab or lobster, and the thing's going like this, and then they throw it in the hot water, I go, I can't do that. I can never do that to a living thing. I would have to kill it first, and then I would be praying over it, and shaking hands, and is there anything I can do for you at this last hour? Something. All right, those are going in. You want to make one more? Or no, we got the red one.
And then the rest of it, you could just use it as a side dish for the next day. So it's a great recipe to just eat it alone. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to spice up your water. And I always say that's very important because there's patients that don't like to drink water, which is fine. It's completely understandable. So you can just spice it up. And you're not always going to want your tea or your hibiscus water or something. So it's super easy to spice it up. So I'm just going to teach you a really fast way.
This is just filtered water in there.
This is just filtered water. You add a little bit of ice. And this is also great for like a light lunch, or if you're going to have people over, they love it because they see it, it looks pretty, and it tastes really good too.
By the way, she's addressing something that's extremely vital because we are used to drinking sugar. Exactly. Coca-Colas and everything else is just liquid sugar. So one of the big changes when you get home, there's nobody serving you hibiscus juice when you walk through the door, and you think, what do I drink at every meal? Well, water is good, but water gets boring. So she's showing you little ways to perk it up.
In my home, we call it liquid Satan, all the sodas. So it's like if somebody drinks a soda, it's like, oh, you're drinking liquid Satan.
This is
because
what happens
it
when
is.
Baptists start naming things.
Exactly.
Liquid Satan.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's addicting. I mean, kids now start drinking soda when they're 4 or 5, and then all of a sudden, you don't think it's that bad. You really feel like it's just a regular drink. You see it as something normal, and it's not. It's sugar, there's chemicals. It's really, really bad for you.
How do you feel about garlic?
Oh, I love garlic. Garlic.
Is it nutritious? Is it good for you?
It's super nutritious. It's great for you.
No vampires?
No vampires, no Satan, no nothing. But the only thing is that we don't use it a lot here because some patients, it's very hard for them to digest it. It's very strong. So we don't use a lot of garlic here. We use more onions because it's milder. But if at home you love garlic, then that's perfect, okay? So we do use it in our soups and things like that, but we don't use it raw because of the patients, okay? But if you like it, garlic all the way.
You can get little glass jars. Have you seen them? Organic garlic chopped. I use those. I mean, I can bang it and peel it and put a chop on it and all that kind of thing, but this is so convenient. And a lot of times you can't find whole garlic organic. So I get the little organic jars, plus I like it because the garlic pools in there so that you can, like if you're making garlic only once a week, garlic butter for a little, you just dump that in there and it's like going to heaven. I mean, it is so good to use that organic garlic like that. I go through about 2 of those a week, the little things. But, it's always better if you get the whole thing and chop them up and all that kind of thing. But I've always said, if it isn't easy, you won't do it.
Exactly, because it's exciting for the first week, the first month. You're excited, you want to do it. And all of a sudden, it's been 6 months and you're tired. You don't want to be chopping anything. So I always tell patients, since the beginning, do a list, go to the market once a week and chop a lot of things already. Have things ready. Make a big batch of quinoa. Make a big batch of things that you can keep either on your freezer or in your fridge for 2 to 3 days. And then that way it won't be tiring because it's going to be, one day you're going to get home, you're going to be tired, and the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to get some pizza or you're just going to grab whatever.
Sandwich.
Exactly, whatever.
I'm busy. I'm going to make a peanut butter sandwich. It's gluten-free bread. It's okay.
Okay, and then that way you added your lemon, your cucumber, and then we added mint leaves to this. And then that way you have a great looking water. And not only does it look pretty, but it tastes really good. And if you've tasted it over there, you can add a little bit of stevia to it. That's the water. If you want, you can add, a little bit of stevia just to make it a little sweeter. If that's what you like, then that's okay too. Or you can make them with a little bit of strawberry, blueberry, some mint. You can try whatever you like. Exactly. Grapefruit. And then just add a little bit of basil. That's also a great combination. So
now, how long do you let that marinate?
You would do this every morning or in the morning, and then by noon it'll be perfect. Or you just give it like 2 hours just so everything soaks in. So when we do it here, we do it in the morning and then we bring it out.
We're done here. And they are looking good. So what I'm going to do is drop, what do you think, half of them?
And then this you could just serve with a simple salad, like a green salad. It'll go great. You can even make a little dressing to go on top of them. So it's a really good dish, okay?
How picturesque.
It's pretty, and everything that looks pretty, then we're going to like. Okay, so that's very important too, that everything that you make, it looks appetizing too. Okay.
Yep, otherwise you'll get bored.
Exactly.
Depressed.
Yeah. If you
and you'll
eat
be out of the
same
program.
thing every day, yeah. Because some people are like, okay, well, I like this salad. And they make it every single day. After 2 months, I guarantee you, you're going to go and get, a hot dog or whatever. So it's important that every day you try and look for different new ingredients to use in your diet, okay?
So on behalf of Oasis of Hope Medical Group, my name is Rick Hill, and this is
Rosa Contreras.
And we appreciate you being here. Stay
Thank
tuned
you.
next week.